Showing real unhappiness of what is going on here in Idlib. It also really shows you that some of the problems, some of the contradictions that arise through this scheme, where you have Turkey, which is an ally of the opposition, working with Russia and Iran, who are on the side of the regime, trying to make this work, these schemes where they've set up these zones where there's supposed to be no fighting and where aid and food will be allowed in. I mean, it's unclear what exactly Turkey will be able to do about it at the moment, but they're certainly very unhappy and want some action taken. We heard there from the foreign minister talking about how if Russia and Iran, some very strong criticism here, how Russia and Iran, if they were doing their job properly as guarantor states in this process, then they wouldn't need to summon their ambassadors. They wouldn't need to do this to try and get the Syrian regime to stop its fighting. And also he's casting a warning over these talks for the due to be held in Sochi on January the 28th and the 29th. This is when the regime and the opposition are due to meet to try and sort out some kind of political solution to the country. And I think if this violence is going to continue, you've got to really cast doubt about whether the opposition will really want to attend and whether there'll be any progress at all at this meeting.
Indeed. And are there concerns that the situation in Idlib could actually get worse?
Well, I think there's certainly a bit of increasing tension at the moment between Turkey and the Syrian regime, because there's no love lost between them, really. Just a few days ago, the Turkish president was on a tour of Africa in which he called Assad a terrorist in charge of a terrorist state. And also when the Turkish troops went into Idlib, set up this de-escalation zone, there was a huge outcry from the Syrian regime. That politicians there were talking about how this was an occupation, and they said they would respond. They talked about how they were unhappy with the amount of heavy military machinery that Turkey was taking in, and also accused the Turkish government of not living up to its responsibilities to tackle terrorism in the area, an accusation that Turkey has very strongly denied. So there are maybe one or two concerns that this situation in Idlib could escalate a little as well.